Cars Channel News and Review Car.
(2017) Alfa Romeo Giulia QV Review. There can be little doubt that Alfa Romeo needs the 2017 Giulia QV to be great. Following on from our track test, we hit the street in the newest super sedan to take the fight to BMW and Mercedes-Benz. You don't have to be a fan of opera to be familiar with Pavarotti's legendary crescendo to Nessun Dorma from Durandot. Everybody has heard it in one form or another. Loosely translated, Nessun Dorma means none shall sleep or nobody sleeps. It's a phrase you can picture FCA Supremo Sergio Marchionne offering up with some gusto during the development of the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio Verde, QV for short. An R&D development budget measured in billions tends to focus the mind on the task at hand. Nobody sleeps until we get this right. We've all seen the Giulia QV sliding every which way around a multitude of tracks all over the world. We've also all seen the in-car footage of the Alfa Romeo test driver, Fabio Francia, pedaling the QV around the ring, and working pretty hard while doing it too, in an eyebrow-raising time. In summation, we know the QV is quick, we know it can drift, and we know it works on track when it's in the skilled hands of a master of his craft. If you're an Alfa Romeo fan like me though, if you've owned a classic Alfa as I have, if you love the history of the brand and what it stands for, a more vexing question than how fast it is, remains. The answer to that question is arguably much more important than power and torque figures and lap times, especially for those who the Alfa Romeo Giulia QV is aimed at. That question? Is it Italian enough? Forget comparisons to AMG or AM cars. Those will come in due course and will number many in the final wash-up. Further, those comparisons don't matter to the Alfisti who will buy this car. It's already better than the Germans in their minds, largely because it isn't German. That loyalty doesn't add up to an easy win for Alfa Romeo, though. No, this Giulia QV better be bloody good, because those potential buyers have high expectations. They want and need this halo sedan to be as good as Alfa Romeo has claimed, and they don't want to be let down. Make no mistake, the performance car world needs exceptional Italian cars too, beyond the unobtainium of the out-of-reach elite like Lamborghini, Ferrari, and Maserati. It's no secret that Alfa Romeo has placed enormous significance on this car, and well it should. It's a brand rich in heritage, rich in performance ability, imbued with a unique sense of design and style, that lost its way and delivered a slew of boring FWD boxes, stepping too far away from that storied heritage. The 4C was a brash signal of the resurrection, but it was nonetheless a toe in the water. Its limited appeal and hardcore design principle excused it of its flaws. It didn't need to be perfect, it just needed to evoke emotion and passion and remind us that Alfa Romeo had once again found its mojo and could still design raw, beautiful cars. We loved the 4C despite its misgivings, but the Giulia QV gets no such leave pass. If you set out to target the likes of AMG and M and you believe you can take the fight to them, you had better deliver. Now, after Kurt's track review, it's time to find out whether the QV can deliver on the stage where it will spend most of its time, on the road. Things like ride comfort, bump absorption and user-friendliness will now come into stark view. Parked line astern, the 3 Alfa Romeo Giulias will move between 4R road drive, cut a gorgeous figure in northern NSW. Signature Alfa Romeo red, a deep metallic blue and my personal favorite, pearlescent white, illustrate the way a beautiful design works with any selection from the color palette. For instance, I have zero interest in black cars, but I suspect a black QV would look stunning. The numbers, as I stated, have been well quoted, but let's quickly revise them here. Front engine, RWD, 2.9 liters, 2 turbos, 6 cylinders, 1,585 kilograms dry weight, 375 kilowatts, 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.9 seconds, top speed 307 km per hour and 7 minutes 32 seconds a lap time at the Nürburgring. I figure the measurement that will reveal the most on-road though, is the perfect 50 hours 50 minutes weight distribution, which should result in near-perfect handling balance at the limit. You only need to cut out into the conga line of moving traffic to realize the Giulia carries proper street cred. Everybody looks at it, and judging by the thumbs up, waves and smiles, everybody loves it too. It is significantly more stylish than most four-door sedans, and from any angle, there's nothing boring or conservative in the lines and design cues. The Giulia QV is a truly beautiful car. Style might be subjective, but few manufacturers could execute a sedan with this much style, this much panache, that sense of traveling rapidly while sitting still, at once delicate and brutal, slender and macho. The touches of gloss carbon fiber add to the theater and adorn the Giulia in the right places too. The front lip and boot spoiler are genuine works of art. Carbon fiber is present in areas where you won't ever see it as well. On the underside of the bonnet there's raw weave to be seen, and even the prop shaft is carbon fiber. It all plays its part to keep the overall weight down as much as possible. There's no doubt the Giulia is every ounce the Italian thoroughbred it should be from the first second you take in its muscular curves. Likewise the cabin, which is trimmed in quality materials and is only let down, to my mind at least, by the shifter, which looks a little plain and basic in an otherwise exceptional environment. The leather, the contrast stitching, the layout of the controls and the seats are all excellent, comfortable but also sporting, crucial to the QV's performance-focused DNA. I'd like the infotainment screen to be a little larger, but the system Alfa Romeo has employed works, is reliable and is easy to familiarize yourself with. The Bluetooth phone connection is simple to establish and reliable once connected. One of the Giulias we sampled at launch was fitted with the optional Sparco carbon fiber buckets. Pricing isn't yet finalized for this option, but they look sensational and add a touch of style and flair to the otherwise understated interior. I use the word understated because the execution of the Giulia's cabiners on the side of function over form, not a bad thing either, given outlandish design elements might detract from the otherwise mature styling. That theme plays out in the carbon fiber and alloy highlights too, where there is enough without going overboard. Crucially, the driving position is spot on. You sit nice and low into the cabin, visibility is excellent both fore and aft, and you feel as if you're hunkered down into a cockpit, exactly as a sporting Alfa Romeo should be. It's comfortable too, even after more than 300 kilometers behind the wheel. Kurt's initial track impressions translate to the road more directly than you might expect. The QV is certainly a different driving experience to anything it will compete with, another factor that will separate it from the pack and put a smile on the faces of those that will buy it. There's a default driving mode that sits above economy, and both of these modes result in a quiet exhaust note and relaxed drive. Swap into either dynamic or race mode though and everything changes. The exhaust note deepens and gets louder, even at idle in race mode. The engine holds revs right up to redline, the response of the gearshift, throttle and steering sharpens, and the active suspension comes into play. That clever suspension combined with exceptional braking and torque vectoring mean you can then access the very best that the Giulia platform can offer, up to the point where your bravery reaches its limit, that is. In race mode, the throttle response is precise and linear, and the Giulia rockets off the mark with a shriek from the tailpipe, piling on speed quickly. The sensational steering makes picking your line easy, and you can hold that line through the corner with almost no correction needed.